Hello everybody and welcome to my 43rd VBA tutorial. This tutorial is going to carry on going into user forms. So it's just going to show you how to add some of your controls into your user form. So the first thing I'm going to do is just going to put in a label. And now this is just an area of text that you can use to just write things onto your user form. So it comes up as default with your text as label 1. I'm going to put in just the number 1 on its own. I'm going to make it a bit smaller. And I'm also going to change the size of the font. So if I go into my properties, I've just swapped my properties and my project window around just so it's easier for you to see what I'm doing. So if we go into here and we go to font and click on this button, and we can just change a few things in here. So I'm going to make the font size quite big, so let's go to 28 and make it bold. And there, so now we've got a big number 1. And then I'm just going to put in a couple of buttons that will make you do things. So I'm going to add in a command button here. So click on this, click and drag where we want our command button. And then I'm going to just change the caption that will change what's written on the button. So add 1. And then I'm going to copy this by just Control C, Control V, paste another button on there, and then this one's going to be called subtract 1. And I'm just going to resize the user form around them. And let's just change the colors a bit, so change the back color to white, and then the add one can be green, and the sub one can be red color. And then let's just change the back color on that as well to black, and then the text color would be use 4 color. I'm going to change that to white. We're going to our palette and then white. What we can also do is, I don't really like text being at the side, so if we scroll down to text align and go on to center, and then that's just going to align it in the center for us. And then let's move that over here. Right, so all I'm going to do is, when I click this button or click this button, it's just going to do the add 1 or subtract 1 as it says on the buttons. So in order to add code into a button, all you do is click on the button and then double click, and it's going to open up a module with within your user form. So if we want to go back to the user form, if you come down to your user form in your forms folder and double click on it, it's going to go into here. If you want to view the code, just right click, go to view code in here, and then it's going to come up with the code. Similarly, you can right click and go to view object, and it'll go back into here. So in here we can write whatever code we want. So I'm going to make it so I access that label and then change the value of it. So let's just check out what the name of our label is, because we're going to need that. So go into our properties, and its name is label 1, so I'm just going to call it my number instead. And I'm going to copy that. So then when we go into here to reference it, we're going to go to user form. We need the name of our user form, so my user form dot, and then my number. And then we're going to take the caption of that and make it equal, and then my user form dot my number dot caption plus 1. And the caption is stored as a text, but it's smart enough that we can use it as a number if it is just a number. So that will just add 1 onto it. So if we play this now, click play in here, click on add 1, and then it's just going to add 1 every time to our number in here until eventually you can't see it in the thing. So let's just make it a bit bigger so we can actually see it. And then press play again, and then when we get up to 10, it actually works now, so that's much better. And then similarly, subtract 1, if we double click on this, you notice they're all in the same module, and it's just opening up a new sub for us, similarly to how the events work. It pretty much is an event, so it's an on-click of that button event. And if you don't know what events are, then go back and watch my tutorials just before these ones on events. So again, in fact, I'm just going to copy this code up here. Copy, paste, and then we just want to do a -1 here. And then similarly, if we just go back into our workbook, Alt F8, and then run how we did it in the past tutorial, and we subtract 1, it's going to go down, and it's going to go up and down like that. So that's the basics of using labels and buttons. That's going to be it for this tutorial. In the next tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can have lines of input for text. So thanks for listening, and I hope to catch you in the next tutorial.